Our focus is camp, and on this third Sunday it is also the identity, part of our identity as an ecumenical church. But I just have a few words, because as I've said, our focus is on singing and hearing about camp, but just want to reiterate some of the reading that Katrina just read. We are of one household, Paul writes. He also says we're one new humanity. Gentile and Jew is what he's talking about, so in his world, that's everybody. Jew and non-Jew. Everyone, he says, is reconciled to God through Christ and the cross. As I explained to the children on the first Sunday as we entered into this month of looking at Moravian identity as Christ-centered, as relational, as ecumenical, and next week as missional, I explained to the kids what ecumenical meant. And it means that we as Moravians in this church are taught to love all churches. We love people from every kind of church there is. The Unity Committee on Theology, the statement that we've been using on identity, describes our commitment to ecumenical nature, our commitment to love all churches in this way. Confessing our own imperfections and brokenness. We believe it is the Lord's will that all denominations and individuals should seek unity in Christ, in the one church that is his body, with zeal and love. We recognize that the various denominations have received a variety of gifts, and it is our desire that we participate with them in exchange of these gifts, serving our one Lord as equal partners. We do not think, so that's quote unquote, for that statement, that official statement in 2011. But what I see from that is that we don't think of ourselves as any better than any other church, and we're not striving to be like, to replicate any other denomination. We recognize our differences and we seek to serve together. As we talked about on July 4th, on Sunday, July 4th, if you were with us at SOAR Moravian Church, we talked about Zinzendorf, the Lutheran noble in the 1700s whom we found ourselves in his care. He desired that all denominations would come together in one congregation, he called it. One congregation of God in the Spirit. That was his desire, and he met with leaders of various denominations in Pennsylvania as it happened. And it didn't happen. We didn't, obviously, all become one denomination, one congregation of God in the Spirit. But Zinzendorf continued to teach this. He continued to teach that Moravians seek not first to be Moravian, but first to be Christian, and that we should be spiritual leaven in any church that we find ourselves. That's the call of a good Christian and a good churchgoer, and also why we find it hard to make new Moravian churches if there's a good Lutheran church where we find ourselves as adults, even having grown up in a Moravian church. Instead, we welcome and we recognize and we celebrate our sisters and brothers who are Catholic, who are Lutheran, who are Baptist, who are Mennonite, who are Methodist, and on and on and on. It's Camp Sunday today, so we've heard stories from camp. Lots of people like swimming and games and being together. That's part of that relational aspect of who we are as Christians, as Moravians, as people. So I have one more story to close. It's a camp story, which exemplifies our inherent ecumenical disposition. Moravian camp has been going on forever. My dad went to camp as a little kid. And I went to camp as a little kid in the 70s. Roger, a Sauerbrei, grew up going to Moravian camp. And all campers along the way were encouraged to bring friends. It was always, bring any of your friends. And some Moravian churches who are blessed with resources, as we are, even offered scholarships to those friends, as well as those who call themselves members. So I brought my neighbor Susie. She was Lutheran. She went with me, I don't know, at least 5 years in a row. My kids brought Lutherans and UCC kids and non-churchgoers. The Regional Youth Council, the RYC, is the youth-centered, youth-led group. That's what we were talking about, Nicole, your treasurer. Is that correct? Yes. It's a youth-centered group that plan and take care of senior high camps. You get nominated and elected at camp by various Moravian regions, central Wisconsin, southern Wisconsin, Minnesota, North Dakota. I got the opportunity to serve, and as you know, some of our youth have served in RYC. Over the 90s, it became clear that during camp elections, we were missing a segment of people that could ably serve our camp in leadership. I asked Kurt sort of the history of this, and he said at one point like 10 of our 70 campers were ecumenical. They weren't Moravian. They didn't know where they fit. And so it was decided that, of course, there should be an ecumenical position on the Regional Youth Council. And it has been for years now, all through the 90s, and it just makes perfect sense to us. The president of our RYC, our Moravian Regional Youth Council, could easily be Catholic, just as likely as they could be a Moravian from Laconia or Sturgeon Bay, or somewhere else. We recognize the gifts and talents of all Christians. And the Reverend Peg Chamberlain, a daughter of this church, pointed out on Facebook, Moravian is an adjective, not a noun. We are Moravian Christians, just one kind of many. And we are happy and blessed to be in the one household of God.